Kliff Kingsbury, who is in the running, and a lot of people, including myself, are saying Belichick is the front runner for Coach of the Year. But Kliff Kingsbury has got to be right there. I mean, what he's doing with Arizona, best record in the NFL, and they were without their best player and their best receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, obviously best player, Kyler Murray, for 3 games. And so he deserves a ton of credit. Obviously, J.J. Watt's been hurt, but he's in the running as well. So Bill Belichick actually brought him into the NFL as a quarterback years ago. And so Kingsbury was asked what it feels like to be competing with Bill Belichick as for Coach of the Year, and they got to be the top 2 guys. And he said this: they should just name the award Bill Belichick. And when he retires, bring that back. Until he retires, I don't think anyone else should get that award. He should be that every single year he's coaching. For the record, before you go, Rob, Belichick's won Coach of the Year 3 times, 04, 07, and 2010. Looks like he could win his 4th, but your thoughts on what Kingsbury says?
I think Kliff Kingsbury doesn't know what he's talking about. He every time I hear something, it's mind-boggling. Couple years ago, after the Hail Murray, he went on this rant about Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes exchanging MVPs over the next 10 years.
Right,
you remember that?
Right.
Hello? Is this on? Where'd that go? So I get it.
Neither one of them's winning it this year.
Right. I mean, stop. I get what you're trying to be complimentary, and Bill Belichick. Some of the greatest coaches, Chris, you know this, they don't win Coach of the Year every year because sometimes there'll be a coach that shows up and has a dog team and somehow they manage to make the playoffs and you go, I don't know how he did it.
Right. It's
I don't know how.
A shocker. Wow, this guy was out of nowhere. They might only be 500.
Exactly,
above,
but you understand that he made something out of nothing.
Absolutely.
So this whole idea that Bill Belichick should win, did Phil Jackson win Coach of the Year in the NBA every year? Chris, what year wasn't he Coach of the Year? No, he didn't.
You're right.
Very seldom did he win. Joe Torre was, how many times was he Manager of the Year with the Yankees? Not often.
Right.
So those guys aren't going to get the Coach of the Year every year. You're trying to be complimentary. You want to be complimentary. Say, hey, the guy's great. It's an honor to be in the same conversation with him. You know what I mean? And my team is up there, and we've done some good things. And, we'll wait and see what happens. I'm just appreciative to be even mentioned with a guy who's accomplished as much. But to say that he should win it every year and name it after him, I got news for you. There was a huge cheating scandal involving Bill Belichick as well. So there will be no statue or no trophy, Chris, named after Bill Belichick from the league. I hate to break it to you. That's
a good point.
As great as he's been, and won, Chris, he has that hanging over his head. There are still people who will never give Bill Belichick and the Patriots their full credit. They won't.
Well, let me address Kingsbury before we go there, because I think that's a point we need to flesh out, too, about just Belichick and this cheating scandal and its possible impact on his legacy. Kingsbury, Rob, you have to be careful. He's only done it twice, but it's like 2 times too many, or at least 1 time too many, because this reminded me, and I'm sure everybody that heard it, the first thing that came to your mind was, the Pat Mahomes, Kyler Murray sharing the award every year and blah, blah, blah. Because it comes off, Rob, when you say that a lot, it comes off as disingenuous.
Right.
And if they ask him about, Derrick Henry, and his answer is, well, they should just name the Offensive Player of the Year award after Derrick Henry. I mean, every year that dude is the best running back. It's like, dude, it's coming off as disingenuous.
Right. Everybody's great. Everybody should get a trophy. No, just all you have to do is just say, hey, man, that was a tremendous play. Who knows? Maybe that kid, if things work out, could win an MVP one day. Do you know what I mean? But after that was after the Hail Mary, and that's really, remember that?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
He threw a pass at the end of the game and it went for a touchdown, but MVP and then the split with Patrick Mahomes at that time. Patrick wasn't soiled. He was the hottest thing going. No, I mean, to even put his name in the conversation with Patrick wasn't even real.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what you brought up was interesting. Belichick, look, I do think he's the best coach ever. But you are right that it's tainted because of the cheating scandal. But some people are always going to point to that. But Rob, I don't think it's going to stick to him to the point where he won't generally be recognized as the greatest coach of all time. Like even Michael Jordan, who I think by most people's estimation, certainly people under 50, right? Well, even 60 maybe. 60 and under view Michael Jordan as the GOAT. Most. But there's still those out there that think he's not, whether they think it's LeBron or the older people who think it's Kareem or whoever. So I think you'll always have those people, Rob. But I feel like when you see most pundits on television, whether they're ex-coaches, ex-players, just personalities, what have you, most people, not all, I believe, Rob, refer to Belichick as the GOAT.
See, there are people who would still take Vince Lombardi, who would take
of course,
Don
but I mean, when you think about the people you see on television who are shaping opinions, do you disagree that most people if they're gonna say there's a GOAT coach, most that I've seen say it's Belichick?
Yeah, I've talked to other people who say who think that will hurt him ultimately. Like I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, here's the Vince Lombardi trophy. I would be shocked if the NFL names a trophy after Bill Belichick, given
agreed.
And here's the reason why. If you do that and then there's more that comes out later on, it's like an embarrassing thing. There's something there. And then can you imagine naming a trophy after him and then there's a story about the cheating?
You're right. But is that going to affect him being viewed as the greatest coach ever? There's not a Michael Jordan award in the NBA.
Yeah. No, I know. I think but I'm just saying
it's like Barry Bonds.
If he was really that guy,
you and I have said Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player we've ever seen. And I think a lot of other people feel that way too. But there's always going to be that taint and that stain, even though he was never caught, but it's still there.
Right. And that's why it's hard for the league, Chris, to embrace him. Do you know what I mean? In that manner. And I think the bill, and especially we're going to have a guest on, Eric Mangini, who went public. Let's just be honest, Chris. Okay? Like that wasn't no ball boy or somebody who had no credibility.
Well, and the fact, and Randy, was it Randy Mueller who brought it up yesterday? The fact that they destroyed the tapes. I think that hurt him. As damning as anything.
I agree.
Because if it's not, I mean, why are you destroying it if it's not, something crazy in there? So